Hello, world. Welcome to the Fonz's office. Today, I am here with my friend Jack Draper. He is a bare knuckle fighter out of the United Kingdom, and currently he's scheduled to fight on the BKFC UK card that will be announced for February. Jack, how are you doing today, my friend?
I'm not too bad, mate. Yourself?
I'm doing very well, very well. With the event that is coming up in February, and yourself having a an offer for that fight card. I don't think we can announce anybody in particular, the opponent or anything, but you do have a fight that is scheduled with Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship United Kingdom. How does that feel for you, my friend?
It's a relief. It's about time as well. It's been a long time coming for me, and it's been this year especially. It's just been one fuck up after the next with regards to fighting. And yeah, BKFC is something I had my eyes set on for a long time now, and it's good to finally get the call up to do it.
You have indeed, indeed, and definitely now with having the call up for that, you actually were scheduled to fight earlier this year, but they moved the date of that event.
Yeah,
If not mistaken, that was the BKFC London event. Is that correct?
that's it. Yep.
Yeah, and they moved the date, and you were unavailable for the follow up date. So now you're scheduled for February. But that's like you said. There's been a few things that have gone through and then have fallen apart in the meantime. There was a
Yeah,
fight with Deca that was going to happen, and unfortunately, he got an infection in his leg, if not mistaken.
that's it. Yeah, yeah. Got a sepsis infection in his thigh. And he was in hospital for nearly a week, I think. And the doctor said that he wouldn't even be able to train or anything for 8 weeks, I believe. So yeah, it just wouldn't work postponing the fight because it would have interrupted with my opportunity to fight on BKFC, and I wasn't going to risk that opportunity again. So
Absolutely.
it is.
So with that said, that fight is now canceled as opposed to postponed.
Yeah, 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 definitely.
Okay. I know that you guys were doing an amazing job of promoting that. The fight was originally scheduled for next weekend in a
Yeah,
super secret location. That was
yep,
really cool. The promoting of the whole event, you guys and your YouTube channels, that was, I really liked how you guys were respectful of one another. And you put a lot of good content out there. With that said, are you going to continue on with using your YouTube channel to promote your fights and to promote yourself?
yeah, definitely. I mean, when this whole thing with Deca first come about, I wasn't my intentions of starting a YouTube channel wasn't even there. I just knew that the fighters in that kind of world put YouTube videos out calling each other out. So I thought I'll do it. And then it kind of got to the point where people was going, well, who's this guy then? Who's like? So I thought, well, next thing I'll do, I'll put up a video of me doing the pads. And then another video, and then another video, and then it just the subscribers just kept coming in, and it just all started building up. And I thought, oh, I could probably capitalize on this a little bit. And and even now with the Deca fight not happening anymore, I've still got a good bit of following on YouTube, and I still keep up to date with it all now. I still put videos up, and but the thing is with my YouTube channel, it's not all fighting based. It's I'll get a lot of family stuff up on there as well. I do a lot of funny stuff, a lot of challenges, and people appreciate it as well because there's so many fake tough guys on YouTube. It's and
There is.
I'm the complete opposite to that. I don't even portray myself to be a tough guy on there. I just like having a laugh and showing off my family more than anything. Obviously, fighting's part and parcel of what I do, so it does go up on there as well. Um, but yeah, a lot of like I said, a lot of my YouTube followers and that are all backing me for the next fight. They have some of them are even asking about getting tickets and come watching it, and others want to get the pay per view and download the app. And so yeah, so I'm definitely going to continue it on.
Excellent. Yeah, I've really been enjoying it because, as you mentioned, it's showing a personal aspect of your life. With
Mm,
myself and yourself living on other parts of the realm that we are in here, uh,
yeah,
it's nice to be able to still see what's going on in your life, even though I'm literally 8 hours behind you.
Yeah. It's like I said, I've got a lot of followers that follow me, and it's from all different countries as well, and it's really nice to see that I've got that kind of following, and I've not even been on there long really. So
It, you've got a
yeah,
couple thousand followers already.
I think I'm nearly at 3,000 followers,
It's
subscribers on YouTube. So yeah,
it's a
it's building up nicely.
it is indeed, and it's a great platform to use as well because it can be
Yeah,
monetized. That's the
yeah,
word, so
monetized.
that you
Yeah,
can actually earn a little bit of money from the videos that you make and the time that you spend doing your content.
yeah, exactly. It's I'm wrong at the minute. It's not earning that much money, but anything's better than a kick in the teeth at the moment. So
Yeah, the saying here, a kick in the teeth with a frozen muckluck. So with your YouTube channel and doing some challenges, you just finished a challenge just before we started filming this interview.
yeah, I did the cinnamon challenge. Yeah, and
Will
I've
that be
literally
up on your channel?
it's on my channel now. Yeah, and honestly, that was horrible. That was horrible. My throat's still a bit sore now from it. I don't think I'll eat cinnamon again.
You're a very brave man for doing that one. I did that one a couple years ago, and man, I got
Mm.
when you said that you did it, I got regressed memories coming back to my nasal cavity and my all down into my lungs. Oh man, with uh, with things that are going on now with your family, you're putting a lot of that stuff out onto the YouTube channel and whatnot. How are things going there? Family's doing well.
Yeah, family's doing well. Yeah, we're just getting by as everyone else. Really, we're yeah, it's nothing new. Just work, training, working, and yes, I
Can,
think
can,
that's also why my YouTube channel is doing quite well because a lot of people can relate to the stuff that I put up and the stuff I talk about. They see how I interact with my family and they see how I am, and a lot of people are saying that they can really relate to my stuff, and that's what I try to be. I try to be as real as possible. I'm not on there to try and impress people by pretending to be something I'm not.
yeah.
So
Yeah, I shared your video the other day that you did about your decision to step down from being a doorman. That's a
yeah,
very admirable thing that you did, and the reasoning behind that was very justified. Would you mind just kind of mentioning about that right now? You making decision to not be a doorman anymore?
yeah. I mean, it's there was a few aspects to why I didn't want to do it anymore. I mean, the money's terrible for a start.
Yeah,
The money's terrible for a start, and you have to deal with a lot of trouble. You have to deal with a lot of idiots, it. And the thing is now, you don't get the backing from the police force and all that sort of stuff like Dorman used to back in the day. Um, Someone could attack you or threaten to attack you. You attack them, and next thing you know, you're the one that's in trouble. Um, that nearly happened to me. Like I said in that video, a guy threatened to stab me, and I just snapped. I just lost all sensibility that I should have kept. I should have controlled myself, but I didn't. I just punched the guy, knocked him over, and the fella banged his head as he went down. And it could have been a lot worse. Luckily,
absolutely.
the guy got up and he walked off, and it was left at that. But then it just made me realise that this ain't what I want to do. I don't because I just it feels like as I'm getting older, my temper's getting worse. Um,
Well,
and I just
it's tolerance, right? Tolerance for idiocracy and for
yeah,
people that speak things that they say things like a threat, uttering a threat with a knife deserves a punch in the mouth, no matter what part of the world you live in. That's my opinion.
yeah, it does. But in the eyes of the law, they would probably say different. But
That's exactly it.
it's just yeah, for me, it just wasn't worth the agony more. And yeah, so I don't know. I still do a little bit of security work here and there if I get offered the right kind of job and the right kind of money.
Right.
But door work, like nightclubs and all that, I stay well away from now.
Yeah. Well, let's digress back to bare knuckle fighting. Your very
Mm.
first fight. Let's first before we go there, let's remind the world what your bare knuckle record is right now.
It's what is it now? Four wins, one draw. So five bare knuckle fights I've had. All 4 of my wins coming by way of knockout, and yeah, 1 draw.
That's correct. 4-0-1. Your very first fight was, if not mistaken, against the Cannon, Shannon Rich.
Yep.
That was what a debut to make. One of the most decorated and in-depth bare knuckle fighters that there is on earth today is Shannon Rich. He's had over 25 fights in bare knuckle. And you make your debut against him, and not only a formidable debut, but you actually stopped the Cannon in the process as well.
Yeah, it was it was a good fight. It was a really good fight to have for my debut. I've got a lot of respect for Shannon.
Me too.
We're still friendly now. We still talk now. And to be fair, he taught me a lot in that fight. Even though I won, he still taught me a lot. I made a lot of mistakes in that fight, which I haven't made in any of my fights after that. So it was a really good learning curve for me, and it was a really good fight to have for my debut. And yeah, I mean, it's set. It was a good example to set where my career is going to go. Do you know what I mean? It was
Yeah.
I mean, I took on a lot of adversity in that fight, and I showed that I had heart. I showed that I had a chin, and I showed a lot as well. So yeah, it was all around. It was a good debut to have.
Yeah, definitely. It was. That's where I first heard of you, watching the BKB platform and seeing that fight. I was a big fan of Shannon Rich's for his mixed martial arts, and all the way back to No Holds Barred when it was bare knuckle combat way back then.
Yeah.
And seeing you make that debut, that's where I sparked the interest in approaching you to basically just say, hey, how's it going? And let you know that I was a fan of yours now because of that fight with Shannon Rich. And man, it's been a few years, and I love what you're going through in your life, and I love being able to be a part of it as a fan as well as a friend now.
Yeah, it's that fight sparked a lot. Like I said, I got a big fan base just from that fight alone, and it's just kept growing. It's just kept growing from that fight, and I personally believe it was because of Shannon's background and how popular he was in the MMA world that sparked a lot of interest in that fight, and it's just done me the world of good, really.
Absolutely, I couldn't agree more. We've just recently seen that Shannon Rich has signed with Rock Solid Combat Sports Management with Psycho Joe Mack. Joe and Shannon, they've had a long-standing relationship, and they had a little bit of a period of time where they weren't in as great a communications as what they are again now. And with him signing, maybe Shannon Rich is going to step back inside and throw bare knuckles again. What would you think of that? Would you like to see him fight again?
I mean, all the time he's capable. I mean, why not? He shows it. He's more than capable. He's always in the gym. He's always training. He's always like you said, that the man always says he'll fight anyone, anywhere, anytime, and he does. Yeah, I mean, if he feels that he can do it and he's not got any injuries or anything like that, then why not? I mean, if he was constantly getting injuries or if he was constantly getting destroyed in these fights, then I wouldn't want to see it, because I wouldn't want to see him get hurt. And I don't mean that with any disrespect at all, but the man's still game and he's still active, and so if he's still got more in the tank, then why not?
I agree, and he is the reigning BKFC international heavyweight bare knuckle champion. It was a super fight that he had with Omar Rocky Molina, that he won that belt at BKFC 4, USA versus Mexico. And I think it would be really cool to see him defend that belt.
Yeah, it'd be yeah. Like I said, he's the thing is with Shannon, he can be a fan favorite because he comes to fight whether he wins or he loses, but he will come and put on a fight. And sometimes fans just want to see that. Fans just want to see a fight. They don't care if you win or lose, as long as you've had a fight. That's what they care about, and Shannon brings that all the time. So
yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, he does. With the potential of him defending that belt and it being an international belt, and you two already fighting before, you now going to be fighting with BKFC UK. If Shannon Rich gets contract by BKFC, the main company over in the United States, that rematch isn't that far out of the realm. Even though you guys are both admirable to one another, you're respectful to each other, you've grown a friendship since the fight, there is the potential of that happening. I know I'm washing that out. I'm beating a dead horse because I bring it up quite often with the two of you, and I know that the respect that's there. But being the guy that I am, I love watching two of my friends fight one another when it's a sanctioned fight and it's, you know, for a paycheck. I love watching that kind of stuff, and I would love to see you guys throw down one more time.
I mean, me and Shannon we're both humble in victory and both humble in defeat, and
Yes.
um, we're both warriors. We understand the game. We understand that if he was to come back and the potential to fight each other's there, um, we're both in the same game. We understand the fact that we might have to fight each other, but we respectfully do so, and we will put our respect on the line for however long for the 5 rounds, and then it'll go back to being respectful again. It's what we do. It's the sport that we're in. It's a gentleman's sport. So I know I don't think Shannon would have any qualms with having a rematch with me, as if I wouldn't. So we'll see what happens. It could be on the cards.
Yeah, you just never know, right? You just never know. So you saw that Ben Rothwell signed with Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship. You saw his debut. It was an impressive victory. What are your thoughts about Ben Rothwell? Not that impressive of a victory in your mind, it looks like.
I mean, look, I try to be respectful in every aspect of this game. I'm not a disrespectful person, but he's a UFC fighter that's trying to skip his way to the title. This is how I see it. He's come in, he's fought Bobo O'Bannon. Listen, Bobo O'Bannon's a tough guy.
Sure.
He's another guy that comes to fight, win or lose, but he's lost more than he's won. So if Ben Rothwell would have come in and he would have beaten someone in 18 seconds who's a winning record, who's a bigger name than Bobo O'Bannon, I could see the argument for him going into fighting for the title. But he's gone and fought a guy who's, okay, like I said, he's tough, but he's lost more fights than he's won. And now he's trying to call out the champion. And it's like, look, you got Mick Terrell in the UK who fought the champion who was ill and still gave a good fight. He's skipping all of these names. You've got Mick Terrell, you've got Sam Shoemaker, you've got Big Frank. You've got all these other guys, Dylan Klecker, Alan Beltran, all these other guys that are top solid names.
Yeah, Ellen Belcher and Joey Beltran.
And Joey Beltran as well. Yeah. You got
your microphone muted.
He's for the title. And it's like, mate, you've got to prove yourself. You haven't proved yourself yet. You beat a guy in 18 seconds who's been beaten more times than he's won fights. So
yeah,
I mean, I called him out. I mean, I've not lost a bare knuckle fight yet. I've had five bare knuckle fights. I'm undefeated. So
yeah, when you called him out, he had his reply for you. And his reply was that why would he want to fight a guy who pulled out of a fight? And I brought it to his attention that you did not pull out of that fight, that event date got changed, and that changed the availability of yourself. You're a United Kingdom Boxing Council reigning defending heavyweight champion, and sometimes other fights are need to be in the mix when a fight contract is a single fight contract. So with that said, you never pulled out of the fight. We're just going to make that clear. That event date changed and your availability changed for that. And you would welcome a fight against either Rob Cunningham or Big Ben Rothwell.
Yeah, exactly. And this is the thing, like I said, he is just another UFC bod that's trying to skip his way to the title. Paige Van Zandt tried doing the same thing. She got beat. He's trying to do the same thing as well. all right, Ben Waffles had a better, he's had a better debut than Paige Van Zandt's had, but still, he's just these UFC guys just keep trying to skip to the title. And Luis Panamino said it the best: bare knuckle is a different sport. Doesn't matter if you're a pro boxer, Muay Thai, MMA, whatever it is. Bare knuckle is a different sport. And just because you was a somebody in your organization, in your other sport, doesn't mean you're going to be a somebody in this sport. And it's really frustrating when you see these guys that are in the UFC and stuff like that come over and think it's going to be an easy ride, because it's not.
Well, you make a very good point there. And with that said from you, the blueprint has basically been set by other former UFC fighters coming in and doing exactly what you just said there. And while it's not fair, in my opinion, and in a lot of fighters' opinions that are bare knuckle fighters, it's not a fair way to go. But when a company is ran by the mighty dollar and they have bills to pay, they're in my opinion, they're doing letting Ben work his way around things, maybe in their financial best interest. And while that may not be the best way to go about things in a business world, we see that happen over and over again. And we're seeing a lot of fighters get overlooked that deserve the opportunities.
Yeah. I mean, look, I understand the promotional side of things. I understand that he was a name in the UFC. So a lot of people will know who he is, and it will help promote the show and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But if I was him, they can still promote him, but still get him fighting other fighters. He hasn't got to skip his way to the title. Now, if this was me, I couldn't walk into an organization and go, I want to fight. I want to fight for the title straight away. I mean, look, Arnold Adams he's the champion. Yeah, he is not in my sights any way, shape, or form. I've got to earn my right to fight for a title. I've got so many names that I've got to get through first to even think about fighting for that title. But yeah, he comes over from the UFC because he was a name in the UFC, and now he wants to fight for the title straight away. Nah, mate, fucking hell, you got a ladder to climb it.
With the promotions that they're doing with Ben, do you think that he's going to be getting the title shot next, or do you think they're going to make him prove himself one more time?
I wouldn't be surprised if he does, but he may have to prove himself one more time, and then he'll probably get a title. Still,
who would you like to see him fight other than yourself?
I'm not really asked, me, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I'm kind of I'm wanting to see him and Sam Shoemaker go at it.
Yeah, Sam Shoemaker. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of guys out there that can give him trouble.
Yeah, Josh Burns comes to mind first, but I'm not sure what his contract status is. I've seen him talking that he's wanting to be fighting in 2023, but I'm not sure if he's going to be with BYB or BKFC or where he's fighting next. But that sure would be a good matchup too.
Yeah, like I said, the likes of Josh Burns and all these guys can give Ben Rothwell serious trouble, if not beat him. But like I said, but the thing is, it's not just the promotion, it's Ben as well. He's overlooking them. He might say that he's not, but he is. Why would he even be talking about a title fight if he's not overlooking all these other guys?
Yeah, that's a good point there.
It's he just wants to skip his way to the title because he couldn't win a title in the UFC, so he thinks he can come over to the BKFC and win a title straight away. Nah, mate, you got to climb the ladder with everyone else.
So you, with yourself having your fight set for February, there's an event that's coming up in a couple weeks in Newcastle. Are you going to be in attendance for that event?
No, it's to Newcastle. It's too far from where I live, but I did put my name down as a stand-in case anyone pulled out.
Excellent.
I mean, I've trained for the Decker fight, and then when the Decker fight got cancelled, I've not really trained properly since then, but I'm still reasonably fit. And I just said, look, if you get any heavyweights put out last minute, I'll happily step in. Do you know what I mean? I've got a bit of fitness about me, and I'm a fighter. So you offer me a fight, I'll fight.
Yeah, well, Pete Stoughton, he definitely keeps you in shape. He whips your ass every once in a while there, hey, and he does a very, very, very good job of keeping you fight ready.
Mate, Pete's even when you know what, even when I'm ticking over with Pete, it's still good fitness, and he still keeps me fit. And realistically, ticking over is supposed to be like easy work, but he still keeps me fit even when we're ticking over. So in case like little opportunities like last minute pop up.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to meeting him one day as well. Uh,
Mm.
as now things are opening up all over the world. Yeah, me coming out to the United Kingdom in 2023 is a potential thing that could happen now. Uh,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, I had my own challenges with some mental health things
Mm.
when I was having the seizures. One of the things was claustrophobia, and
Um,
I was in a very bad state that even tight clothing could send me into an attack. And now I've I'm I'm doing a lot better. You could say I'm doing super, in fact, and being inside of a plane cabin and flying for 10 to 12 hours doesn't even frighten me in the least anymore, where
that's
before even just the
definitely-
thought of it. So 2023, it's plausible that I can actually fly over and get to meet you in person, which would be
yeah, that'd be
absolutely
great.
super in my books.
Yeah, that'd be great if you can do that, mate. That'd be really good.
Yeah, I agree. We're running low on time here. Is there anything else you'd like to discuss today? Anybody you'd like to mention?
Yeah, I just want to shout out to all of my sponsors. I can't remember everyone off the top of the head, but everyone that backed me for the fight with Decker, and they've now going to back me for my fight for BKFC in February. A
Excellent.
massive shout out to all of them guys. They know who they are when they watch it. They've all helped me out massively, especially this time of the year with Christmas coming up and not being able to put money away for fights like I normally would for Christmas. They've all financially helped me, and yeah, they've managed to save my Christmas. So a massive shout out to all of those guys who are backing me up.
Wow, amazing. And so we obviously we can't disclose who an opponent is that's coming up on for your February bout. But what are you going to do that is different in your training to prepare you for this? Because this isn't a slouch that you're going to be going up against.
To be honest, we're gonna do exactly the same stuff that we do every fight because I've not been beaten yet. So don't fix something that's not been broken.
Excellent.
I mean, I know what the guy's about. He's got dangerous hands. He's got explosive hands. He's 5-0 as a bare knuckle fighter. All of his fights coming by knockout. Um, I don't believe his boxing ability is great at all, but he has got dangerous power in both hands. So it's going to make for an interesting fight. It's going to make
Man,
an
I can
interesting.
hardly wait.
It's going to be a good fight.
Yeah, indeed. Well, thank you so much, Jack, for taking the time out today again to join me here at the Fonz's office. I really appreciate it. Any final words in closing from you?
No, mate, I'm all worded out.
Awesome, brother. Well, again, I really appreciate it, and say hello to the family for me. I'm very supportive in what you're doing and what your wife's doing there, and I love you
Mate,
guys, man, and I really look forward to this relationship continuing to blossom.
cheers, mate. Thank you. Appreciate that.
You're very welcome, my friend. All you fighters and all you fans out there in the world, keep your eye right here on Jack Draper. He will be fighting on the BKFC UK card in February 2023. And Ben Rothwell, you better keep your eyes open, brother, because Jack Draper and you may have a match coming up one day down the road in 2023.
Definitely.
Awesome.
Definitely.
Well, thank you everybody for watching the Fonz's office. I am Jeff the Super Fan. He is Jack the Spartan Draper, and we are signing out from the Fonz's office.